What's up guys, how is it going? Today we are coming to you live, not really live, from Costa Rica. It is so beautiful here. I will be here for the next 80 days or so you'll be seeing a lot of content with this kind of background and just birds humming in the distance, maybe someone doing some gardening. Did you hit that? That's awesome! Today we're doing a reaction video. I am going to look at some videos which came out within the last 10 to 15 years, particularly in the pop punk, metalcore, easycore, the modern popular genres, and see if they would hold up today, because there are some bands, let's look at Trivium, Bullet for My Valentine, Killswitch Engage, who really blew up in 2005, 2006, that's what it was all about back then, but if they released their music today, I don't think it would be so well received. Not only because it's not original anymore, and back then it was, but rock music was in a very, very different place popularity-wise. It's just a bit different now, and I don't think that would be so well received. But what about the Warped Tour bands? What about bands like Memphis, Mayfire, The Word Alive, IC Stars, A Day to Remember, 4 Years Strong? If they released their music videos from 2010, 2012, 2013, these days, would it go down well? I don't know, let's have a look. I'm always skeptical when it comes to doing reaction videos. I love doing reaction videos, but sometimes they do not go down very well whatsoever. When I did reacting to country artists, I got a lot of dislike comments. When I did reacting to Godsmack, again, a lot of butthurt people. Guys, this is Dave's music channel. It is not Dave agrees with my music taste, and it would take 2 seconds to figure out, if you're new to this channel, that it's all about pop punk, punk rock, metalcore, easycore, hardcore, heavy metal, with a little bit of butt rock and a little bit of classic rock thrown in. If you want country music artists and country music news, go watch this guy. If you want conservative leaning videos about butt rock artists who haven't been relevant for a couple decades, go and watch Rockfeed. But we're here on Dave's music channel, so let's fire up the laptop. Alrighty, so we're gonna start with Memphis Mayfire, who I think out of all of those Warped Tour bands and scene bands are doing the best now. When you compare them to other bands on the scene from 10 years ago, such as 4 Years Strong and IC Stars, I think they've lost momentum a little bit, whilst Memphis Mayfire are still doing very, very well. They've had a solid following for the last decade. Within the metalcore scene and the Warped Tour scene and the alternative music scene, they are very universally loved. We're going to react to The Sinner, which I think is definitely one of their best and most popular songs. We're going to react to the live version of it, because that's actually something I haven't really watched before. I've watched their music videos countless times. The music video for The Sinner is pretty standard, pretty bog standard metalcore video. Let's check out the live version. This is from Warped Tour 2015, by the way. Wow, his voice is really, really good live. I never got to catch them when they were in the United Kingdom, actually, which is a shame. I would have liked to see it. It looks like they're really good live. I've seen like phone camera footage from when they played at Slam Dunk Festival. This seems really good so far. I really like that they're not relying on backing tracks here. A lot of bands these days are relying on backing tracks, won't name names, but for example, in the studio they write a synth part, but they don't have a synth player live, so it's backing track. Perhaps the guitar player writes 2 guitar parts, but there's only 1 guitar player in the band, and therefore backing tracks. This is cool. It's all live. His vocals sound really, really good live. We're about to hit the chorus. Ooh, he didn't hit that note, did he? Okay, he's still hitting the notes. He's still really good live. The guitar player doing the backing vocals there. He doesn't get enough credit. He's been in the band 2 years longer than Matty. He is an incredible riff master. Some of their riffs back then, like 2010 to 2012, were quite a bit more original than the other bands on the scene. That was really cool. One thing when I search for Memphis Mayfire on YouTube is I seem to get a barrage of Matty Mullins' speech. Let's just check one of those out. Why is Matty Mullins giving so many speeches? Is he like a keynote or something? Let's find out.
One day, my school counselor pulled me aside and she said, Matty, what is it that you want to do with your life? What do you want to be?
Oh god, I know where this is going. I've heard this before. I think you guys are as well.
And I said, man, I want to be the voice of a generation.
Voice of a generation. I was about to say... I'm not gonna go there. Yeah, okay, Alright, I'm just gonna say this. Amity Affliction are one of my favorite bands. I have multiple Amity Affliction tattoos there. If you want to go and look up the beef between Amity Affliction and Memphis Mayfire from a few years ago, go and look it up. It's pretty funny. But now, let's move on. We're going to move on to Icy Stars. We're going to react to two different Icy Stars songs, mainly because they tended to change genres quite a lot per album. The first album was metalcore with a bit of easycore thrown in. Second one was straight up pop punk with easycore. And then the third album, they went really heavy metalcore. And then the fourth album, it started going a little bit more ambient, a little bit different direction, and then by Treehouse, completely different direction. If you haven't seen my interview with Zach, go and check that out. It's such a good chat. I really appreciate all the love I'm getting on it as well. I think the algorithms picked it up, which is really cool. I really love them. I met Icy Stars 11 years ago, actually. They were supporting We the Kings in London. And when you look at Icy Stars on the music video, they just kind of look like the same age, if not older than you. They don't look like young guys, but they were, I think they're 1 or 2 years younger than me, and they walked on stage, and me and my brother looked at each other like, whoa, they're really young. They're like literally 17, 18, 19 years old. They're touring the world supporting We the Kings. So that goes to show how well they were doing at the time. They still are, obviously, and the fact that they are just really talented musicians, particularly Brent Allen, fantastic musician. And Andrew, great drummer. Devin is such an amazing vocalist. I would say he's better than Matty Mullins. I'd say he's better than Tyler Carter, actually. I think he's just such a good vocalist. And Zach's my boy. I love you, Zach, man. They did you dirty. You shouldn't have been kicked out. Starting with 3D, which is one of their more pop-punkier songs. Can you see what I mean there? They don't look like 18, 19 years old. They could pass for 22, 23 or something. So we were really surprised when we met them in person, because they came out to the bar afterwards and we hung out, did Jaeger bombs and stuff. Okay, straight off the bat, we're only 19 seconds in, but this would do so well these days. I don't think The Sinner from Memphis Mayfire would do very well these days because it just isn't original enough. This would, because it's so pop-punky. Pop-punk is so timeless. I've done videos on this before, how some people believe that Machine Gun Kelly and Youngblood and Travis Barker are like bringing pop-punk back. I don't believe that in the slightest. Pop-punk never went anywhere. Blink-182 have had such well-charting albums even within the last decade or so. Neighborhoods did really well. California did amazingly. Simple Plan, Good Charlotte, Sum 41, they've had major, quote, comeback albums. Good Charlotte had Youth Authority. Simple Plan had Get Your Heart On, which was a banging album. Then they took a 5-year break, came back with their 2016 album, I forget the name of, but it was still just such a great album. They're doing amazingly. Even bands like Bowling for Soup are still touring and like headlining festivals and doing incredibly. Same thing with Newfound Glory. So I think pop-punk is just not only a little bit more popular as a genre than metalcore, but it is so timeless. It's been, what, 25 years since the birth of pop-punk, I guess you could say, because before that it was more skate punk and punk rock. But pop-punk is so timeless. But let's skip ahead a bit. Let's get to the screaming and the heavier part. So you heard that. You heard the auto-tune there as well. This was a little bit ahead of the game. This was right before auto-tune core started taking off. It was only really Attack and I would say Icy Stars who were mainly doing it, and maybe Forever the Sickest Kids. Icy Stars were merging that perfect balance of Forever the Sickest Kids sort of auto-tune pop-punk with auto-tune core metalcore such as Attack, and they were doing it so well. One thing we learned in college, I studied music at college, is that if you want to get signed by a record label or you want to make a statement, you want to get yourself well known, have the start of your song be really banging. Have it be like, yeah, straight to the point. This song is a perfect example of that, and so is The Common Hours as well. This is a great example of a song where it's like, boom, yes, straight in, really good, like with sort of like the chorus is the intro. I like that. It goes into a more auto-tuney, more stripped back verse. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, that's actually Zach doing the vocals. Chris Moore was in the band for 1 year when Zach left, and Zach came back a year later in, I think, 2010, 2011. late 2010 even, for Warped Tour. But Chris Moore took over on vocals. Even though he's in this music video, that is Zach doing the singing. Chris Moore only sung on one song, and I think it was their cover of The Outfield's Your Love. Solid, like so good. It's so good, that would be perfect. Easy core is still a thing, pop punk is still a thing, metalcore is still a thing, but this just has that timeless sound to it. Pop punk with breakdowns. Shout out for Mackenzie. Beautiful chorus to the outro, and then the outro is a breakdown as well. So there's only really 2 heavy bits in the whole song. The rest is straight up pop punk, and it's just chef's kiss, perfect balance. Great outro, great banging outro with synthesizer and a bit of screaming. Perfect, yeah. See, that held up really well. Let's have a look at one of their more metalcore songs. I'm gonna look at The Common Hours because that's the first song I heard of them, and it's so completely different from what they're releasing the last 5 years and what I imagine they're going to release next. I just want to see how it compares to 3D, even though they're off the same album. Amazing. That's still great. That is still great. Like that intro, short intro, straight in with the auto-tune banging vocals, the drum fill, everything about that. Straight in. Again, it's exciting, it's uplifting. This sound in particular wouldn't hold up anymore, but I think it's still very, very good. What makes me really happy is that Zach is in this music video. This music video was shot right after he returned to the band. It is the first music video, I think, from them that they are in, and that cymbal fill as well. Beautiful cymbal fill right there where Andrew went dun 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 dun. Another band who I love who also do this is Mice and Men. They actually have some really great cymbal fills as well. Yeah, that was a fantastic song. Won't play too much more of that because you get the idea, but I don't think it would hold up these days. And you know what? I don't think musically it's as good as anything they did since. I think that New Demons was a much more technically and musically advanced album. Digital Renegade as well, much more advanced, way better riffs, way heavier breakdowns, the synthesizer, even the synthesizer, the synth parts, which I think Zach wrote. I think he wrote all of them, or most of them. We're gonna finish this off with Asking Alexandria because it's a British band in there, and you guys might already know my feelings towards Asking Alexandria. They are pretty darn cringe. At least they certainly were back in 2009, 2010. Go watch my video on them for that though, because yeah, they were a bit cringe, but I really do respect them as well for their work ethic. I really love Ben especially. His songwriting capabilities are amazing. His riff writing is really good. I think it's very apparent in their music that he's listened to a lot of earlier bands such as Avenged Sevenfold, learned how to play those songs, and then from there gone to write his own riffs in the same manner. And they just sound amazing with Asking Alexandria's style of music. The band also moved from England to America, pulled together their money and got like an RV or a camper van to live in all together as well, which was really amazing. They did this whilst playing shows, getting their name out there, and actually got signed to Sumerian Records, the same record label as Icy Stars, and they were all of a sudden on these incredible tours. That was such a good move because if you look at Bring Me the Horizon, way back in 2006, 2007, 2008, they're constantly grinding in the UK. It wasn't really until 2011 where they really took off in the USA and started playing Warped Tour and stuff, whereas Asking Alexandria were like, nope, let's do this, let's go straight to America. I want to know where this video was filmed because it looks like it could be anywhere. It could be Los Angeles, it could be New York, it could be England. As long as it's at night time and it's in a warehouse, it doesn't really matter. Cameron as well, also very talented. Why does that light bulb keep going on and off? See, that's what I mean, that riff right there, that that's so good. That's so good. Yeah, it may be a little bit generic and it may be more closer to the 2005, 2006 style metalcore than what we're used to recently, but it is so good. It's quite clear where the influences come from. I really think that Ben is a bit of a riff master. And you know what? I think that's why their earlier work, before they've started going down this radio rock route they've done recently, I think their earlier work is the best work purely because of the riffs, the drums, everything. It's So spot on. I actually really do love this song, even though the music video is a bit cringe and the band are a bit cringe. That bit's a little bit generic. The middle bit's a little bit generic. Doesn't matter though. Generic is sometimes good. In fact, you know what? As a pop punk fan, I'll say generic is very good. Gotta respect Danny's voice. He's got a very, very good singing voice, and he's trained it very well, even with his vocal injuries and all the stuff he's gone through on it. This bit, they've obviously been like, alright, Joey Sturgis or whoever's producing the album. It's not synth enough, not metalcore enough. Let's put some dance, techno breakdowns in there. Gotta do that. You need a doctor, baby, you scared. These guys are all like 17. And they're like tiny, tiny little skinny guys. No one's scared of you, Danny. Stop writing songs and talking about how much sex you have. You're probably a virgin when you joined the band. Not slander, just my opinion. Okay, alright, I think that's enough for today, but I think I'm going to come back and readdress this and do some other bands. I think I'll do with Mice and Men, The Word Alive. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Memphis May Fire, on Icy Stars, on Asking Alexandria. Drop it down in the comments, and yeah, lots of love. I'll see you guys in the next video.